suspects are the Quality Assurance Manager, Augustine Wachira Maganjo, Geoffrey Ngare Wandeto, the Coast Region Accountant, Rose Wangoi Gasheru, who is the agency's principal accountant, the former Coast Region Manager Martin Mswana Nakiamo, and Assistant Accountant Pauline Nafula Wamalwa. Wachira, Ngare Wangoi, and Nakiamo were arrested at Mpeketoni, Nanyuki, Juja, and Rusinga Island respectively, before later being escorted to Mombasa under tight security. The suspects are expected to take plea at the Mombasa Law Courts on Monday. The offences levelled against the KEB senior officials include abuse of office and conspiracy to commit a crime of corruption. Detectives say they are searching for Pauline Nafula, who is allegedly in hiding. Mswana, the former KEB's Coast Region boss, had previously been charged at the Milimani Chief Magistrates Court in Nairobi, alongside former KEB's Managing Director Charles Ongwae and the then Quality Assurance Director Eric Chesire for releasing substandard OCP fertilizer. According to detectives from DCI's Special Crimes Unit, the offense occurred between 1st July 2017 and 31st October 2018 at KEB's regional offices in Mombasa, following a tip-off from the then acting managing director at KEB's, Bernard Nguyo, who had received an internal audit report pointing to the scam. Seth Olale, NTV.
ODM party leader Raila Odinga steered clear of speaking on the IEBC, dismissing his estimation of the cost of a referendum as incorrect, placing it at least 5 times what the former Prime Minister said it would cost. He said it would cost about 2 billion. He did take to a public podium where he threw salvos at the Deputy President and pushed the BBI agenda. However, Vincent Oduor reports that there are fundamental questions on the merit of pushing for changes to the Constitution.
Orange Democratic Movement Party leader Raila Odinga was back at a podium. However, he kept off the referendum cost issue a day after the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission dismissed his claims that a referendum would cost 2 billion shillings, saying that it would be at least 5 times that amount. However, he took the opportunity to swing a jab at Deputy President William Ruto, who has been campaigning using the dynasties versus hustlers narrative.
Hii taifa letu la Kenya haijakuwa na waziri rais ambaye amekuwa ni tajiri. Jomo Kenyatta alikuwa mtoto wa maskini. Nyayo mwenyewe alikuwa maskini. Na Kibaki je? Na Jomo Kenyatta je? Kwa hivyo tumekuwa na marais mahasla tu. Si mara ya kwanza. Kama unataka kuwa rais, sema unataka kufanya nini wa Kenya ukiwa rais.
The politics of the Building Bridges initiative continue to gain steam, despite the division it continues to propagate, even within the highest levels of government.
Tusipotoshwe kuambiwa Uhuru ati yako namna hii. President Uhuru afanyi kazi, siwe nani anafanya zaidi. Anafanya zaidi kwa budget gani?
Na hiyo ndio sababu nataka tuunge BBI mkono tukienda mbele, tuimarishe ugatuzi, tulete pesa mashinani, tuweze kuweka maendeleo kwenye kaunti zetu zote. We must ensure that BBI brings the country together. Hatuwezi sema BBI kwa mkono ya kushoto, wala tunapigana na wengine kwa mkono wa kulia.
While the 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote agenda did not sail through in the Senate as initially hoped, that may not be the last Kenyans will hear of it.
Kwa hii mambo ya BBI inakuja. Number 1 ni 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling.
The BBI agenda right from the Kenyatta-Odinga handshake has been criticized and termed as a push for the agenda of a few, with government officials right from the head of state having on various occasions openly breached the rule of law. Many have questioned if a change of law would change the flawed attitude and treatment of the Constitution.
It is irresponsible for anyone to imagine that we as a country, we can spend any resource for another constitution when they cannot respect the current constitution.
Kenya is a country made by law. We are making our country to become a banana republic. Wewe ni driver wa gari, unapewa watoto unashinda kuendesha. Ndio utapewa Mercedes uendeshe? Si bado itangongwa?
It's no democracy when those people who lost are the ones calling the shots, are the ones controlling government day-to-day activities.
Ikiwa tutabadilisha katiba, ama ikiwa tutakuwa na mjadala wa kubadilisha katiba, jameni, tusilete mjadala ambao utagawanya wa Kenya, ama tusilete mjadala ambao utaweza wale viongozi peke yao kupata manufaa, lakini mwananchi wa kawaida aanze kuangamia.
Politicians have resumed political meetings and rallies in various parts of the country, despite the illegality in light of the pandemic containment laws.
And that is the problem where we are as a nation today. People think they don't point that way. Me, me, me. They don't care about anybody else.
Vincent Odur, NTV.
Tension is high in Burrows following a second consecutive day that has seen another person being killed by unknown armed bandits, raising the number of people killed to 4. Residents are now calling out the government for failing to take action and leaving them on their own. Anita Nkonge reports.
The latest of 4 victims is a 19-year-old boy who succumbed to injuries today after an attack by unknown persons.
Mwendawazimu ameuliwa Burrows na hatujui ni sababu gani. Hii ambulance ambayo tuko nayo hapa ya serikali, hakuna kazi nyingine inafanya, ni kuleta tu mtu ambaye amepigwa na risasi. Sio inasemekana imeleta emergency from anywhere.
This is the 4th death this week as residents continue living in fear.
People are dying. Our brothers are dying. Where is the government, please?
On Friday, residents and university students led a demonstration in Maralal town and Burrows, calling out the police for what they say is negligence and a lax approach to the killings.
Tuko na askari anti-stockdeath team, tuko na kambi ya jeshi hapa kubwa, tuko na polisi, tuko na GSU hapa Nachola, tuko na askari wengi Marti, lakini hakuna kitu serikali inafanya.
We just lost yesterday a kid, the other day a widow left 5 kids back. Who will feed them? There is nothing. We are tired of typing rest in peace.
The Air Commissioner, however, says that they have been doing their level best to retrieve and disarm those with illegal firearms.
What we've done this particular time round, Samburu, is not what it used to be a few years ago. With the support of the political leadership of Samburu, we've been able to make a lot of achievements.
Anita Nkonge, NTV.
Police in Garissa are investigating an incident where 12 Somali nationals without valid IDs were found being ferried in a county government Land Cruiser using either a fake or a stolen GK number plate. The aliens were arrested at the Garissa Tana Bridge when officers manning a barrier demanded the work ticket of the vehicle, only to discover that its registration number was different from that on the work ticket. The vehicle had a government registration plate GKB 390C, yet its genuine registration number is KCT 620Z. It is registered to the Garissa County's Ministry of Urban Development. The suspects will be arraigned in court once investigations are concluded.
It was being
Let's take a look at the COVID-19 situation in the country. And that is off the Ministry of Health's report. Kenya has recorded 105 new infections out of a sample size of 2,868. That brings the total number of infections reported in Kenya to 36,829. 68 more people have recovered, bringing the total of those who recovered in Kenya to 23,777. Fortunately, there are no new fatalities to report today, and the COVID death toll remains at 646. We leave you with that tomorrow as we take a commercial break. We'll be back shortly.
When they flip and roll and start to crawl away, tape diapers can be hard to put on. Then it's time for all-round fit Pampers pants. Easy to pull on even when they're moving around for a great fit and up to 12 hours of dryness. And easy to remove. Just tear the sides, lift away, roll up the pants, and you're all done. Now available in size 6. Pampers. Love, sleep, and play.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more, like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Coca-Cola, taste the simple joys.
Happy anniversary! Mbona hii mabati kina dad na mam bado inakaa mpya? Na hii nyumba imekuwa hapa for so many years. Na pia umelelewa hapa.
Wow, imagine hata nilikuwa sija notice. Rufus, wewe ni fundi wangu wa miaka mingi sana. Haya mabati yatadumu kweli? Huyu kijana nilimwambia anunue mabati ya Dumuzas.
Usibahatishe mabati. Hakikisha umeangalia alama za kudhibitisha Dumuzas halisi. Chagua Dumuzas, mabati inayodumu kudumu. Isitoshe, Dumuzas ndio mabati pekee inayokuja na warranty.
Sitaki tena kubahatisha.
When they flip and roll and start to crawl away, Tate diapers can be hard to put on. Then it's time for all-round fit Pampers pants. Easy to pull on even when they're moving around for a great fit and up to 12 hours of dryness. And easy to remove. Just tear the sides, lift away, roll up the pants, and you're all done. Now available in size 6. Pampers, love, sleep, and play.
Devki Steel Mills have provided quality building material with the widest range of associated steel products over the last 3 decades. Look for the Devki mark on a widest selling reinforcement, twisted and TMT rebars, which are KBS certified and have the diamond mark of quality. Devki Steel, Kenya's most trusted steel company.
I'm experienced now, professional. I done wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail.
This is the game that is going to be remembered as the Lionel Messi match.
Last week, I murdered a rock.
Brilliant Kipchoge.
Injured a stone. Hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. Last night, I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. Bad. Been chopping trees, I done something new for this fight. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Epilepsy is a condition that most people would rather not have a conversation about, but the truth of the matter is, with 77 people diagnosed with the condition out of 100,000 people in Kenya, I think it's time to pay attention.
We found that most of the epilepsy was beginning in childhood. Birth injury and those infections that touch on the brain cause some localized damage or diffuse damage leading to epilepsy.
Welcome to Garden of Joy in Machakos by Optiven. This is a gated community that is strategically located only 7 minutes drive from Komata. The title deeds are ready. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
Thank you for staying with myself and David Agondwa on NTV Weekend Edition. Now the hashtag tonight, and you'll see why shortly, is the RAF rescue. It is quite evident that what impact the invisible coronavirus has had on the country. However, closed in the unsettling brackets of the pandemic is the increase of long-existing and condemned practices, stealing the youthful years from hundreds of girls and causing untold pain. NTV's video journalist Shamasono Siago followed some children officers in Kajiado County as they sought to rescue a girl who was defiled and then impregnated and then married off in a family settlement arrangement. Yet she was just 14 years old, and many girls her age are forced to undergo female genital mutilation. The roadblocks on this mission were many and diverse. From the journey you're about to witness, you will see why it was the RAF rescue.
Whenever we get information, either from well-wishers, the community, or maybe even the victims, we embark on now going to rescue the child. Our first step is to report the case to the police, and we get an OB, so that now we can embark on a rescue. And most of the time we even request the police to accompany us. Because of security issues, we need a four-wheel vehicle, these big machines like the double cab or the Land Cruisers. And the road, there is no tarmac, it's a forest. Some places don't even have roads. It's for you to look for the road for yourself. There are seasonal rivers which whenever it rains, they overflow and becomes a brook. You cannot be able to crisscross them. So we have a driver who might not even be conversant with that terrain, with that road, with that area. So we struggle together. All of us are new in those new terrains, and the community, most of the time, are not willing to assist us because they don't want to be seen as the people who are selling the community. So we struggle on our own. We cross the river, use the police, and maybe the little information we have gotten, and the well-wisher who continues to guide us. Sometimes we are forced to abandon our vehicle and get into the water. The police, especially most of the police, are trained, so they have undergone some of these hardship. But me as an officer, I have not gone through any technical or training to be able to tackle some of those hardships. They get hold of me and they help us to crisscross the river. We get to our destination. Our first mission is to introduce ourselves.
Habari yako? Yeah. Mwenzangu hapa anaitwa Peter kutoka ofisi ya watoto. Inaitwa Victor. Sawa sawa. So tuko hapa kwa ajili yako. Sawa sawa Cecilia? Yeah, tumekuja kwa sababu wewe ni mtoto. Na leo mtoto ni mtu wa miaka ngapi? Ni mtu wa miaka ngapi? Under 18. Na wewe uko na miaka ngapi? 16.
Maasais, to some extent, they believe very much in their culture. So whenever we go, we are now seen as enemies of the community, enemies of their culture. So they are very hostile on us. Sometimes they even want to fight.
Nasema hivi, huyu msichana ni mdogo. Kwa vile hatujaweza kumshika yule mwenye anahusikana na hiyo mambo ya kumuosa mtoto ama kumuoa kwa miaka ambayo haifai. Tutaenda na yeye tumweke kwa a safe place tukiweza kupashu. Ofisi ya watoto ikishirikiana na polisi wataweza kufuatilia ili kuensure kwamba huyo kijana ambaye aliyemwaripia masomo yake na maisha yake pia amechukuliwa hatua. Because ya masaa na pia tunaenda mbali. Tunaruhusu pengine kama huyo ako na nguo zake afae vizuri. Alafu pia huyo
After the rescue, most of the time we carry the girl with us. Most of these cases we find them very far away, but our rescue centers are in Gong, Rongata, Rugai. In those, we call them towns. These small towns we have around, but our cases are very far. So we carry the girl and we bring them to the rescue center, and now we embark on a journey of seeking justice for her.
When we get the child from the children's department, we need documents for their files and also to start following up on what happens with the child after they come to the institution. The first documents we get from the children's department should help us to get more information about the child. And then, being that we have different children, we have different documents that the government requires for us to fill at the initial part. And it's standard process for all the children who come into the institution. And we have files for different children, and they come in and get a registration number.
Nilimaliza shule class 8 last year, nikamaliza na mimba, nikajifungua, nikaamua tena kurudi shule sababu nataka kutimisha ndoto yangu ya kuwa lawyer.
Kapato West kesa FGM usiko, lakini wanafanyia chini ya maji. Ni kitu huwezi jua kabisa. Unapata wanashirikiana wazazi na wenye kuchukua msichana. Hiyo ndio shida.
In practice, we are making efforts to stop it. Because it's a cultural thing, and people, especially, they don't want to speak about it. They rely on other people to speak, like NGO. Even at one time, we arrested assistant who attended the ceremony of a young girl, a wedding ceremony. So it is true that some are abetting, some do not differentiate their work and their culture.
Well, you can share your thoughts on that feature by Shamason Osiago using the hashtag #TheRAFRescue. We take a break.
Get fresh, gotta get fresh.
Down is no boom boom pow, down is boom boom pow. Smells by na uchafuzi na zibi na improve down is protect nguo zangu na dukia niko safi. Lazima niwe fresh na down is boom boom pow. Boom boom pow, down is no boom boom pow. Smells zote na zi boom boom pow, powerful freshness. Down is boom boom pow.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
So vile nasema, wacha nikubatie statistics. Niko na gamia 1,500. Tunakuwa drapo gamia na kuwa 6,000. 2,000 natengeneza leather, natengeneza viatu, wallet, kibeti, nauza hapa. Nabatia wewe 50%. Wacha niweke credit nikupigie.
Namna gani wewe? Hii mambo ya kuishiwa na credit kila saa. Come on. Nunua hiyo simu ya Vodafone. Calling fiber to fiber is 0 shillings per minute. And it is not expensive. Only 2,999 Kenya shillings.
Alo hali wa. Hata fadhali hiyo credit ikae ninunue simu basi.
Faibika leo na Vodafone for only 2,999 Kenya shillings. It will always be free to call fiber to fiber.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Mavuno Fertilizers, a soil and crop-specific fertilizer in Kenya, helps improve food security by improving crop yields through application of scientifically researched, nutrition-based fertilizers. More than 500,000 farmers in Kenya can have easy access at affordable packs of 1 kg to 50 kg across major agro-dealers. Farmers who have used Mavuno Fertilizers have realized 30% more yield. Please feed your crop and soil with the best fertilizers for future prosperity. Call us today and learn how Mavuno Fertilizers is helping in increasing food production in Africa.
Come over. Wacha nikupikie Chef Ramsey.
Rena vegetable oil stays liquid to the last drop, so it's smooth cooking from start to finish. Now with an easy-to-pour cap. Mapishi poa, madishi poa.
Wakenya, hii fight hatukuchagua, lakini tuko na choice. Tuchague kujilinda. Tuchague kuprotect familia zetu. Tuchague usafi. Kuosha mikono. Kuosha manyumba zetu. Ndio tulinde watoto wetu. Na tuvae mask. Future yetu iko mikononi mwetu. Kenya, let's do it for the ones we love.
The Dettol range is available on Jumia. Shop safely and conveniently today.
We're glad you stayed with us on NTV Weekend Edition. The Kenya Scouts Association is ordering the Nairobi Governor, Mike Sonko, to fall back as he's out of line in his alleged appointment into the association. KSA Chairman Jacob Kaimenye termed the apparent swearing-in of Sonko as the Nairobi patron for the Kenya Scouts Association as invalid. Anita Nkonge investigates.
Professionalism.
Fire the left, quick, forward, march.
Transparency and accountability. Integrity, selflessness, and God-fearing. These are the core values that govern the Kenya Scouts Association. And this is precisely why the KSA is not at ease, calling to attention Governor Mike Sonko's swearing in as the patron of the Kenya Scouts Association for Nairobi County and the representative of the World Scouts Parliamentary Union at the Council of Governors.
On my honor.
On my honor, I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to God and to my country, to help other people at all times to obey the Scout law.
In a statement released by the chair of the Kenya Scout Council, Jacob Kaimenye, the KSA say that President Uhuru Kenyatta is the current national patron of the KSA and who was sworn in on the 1st of December 2013. The KSA therefore does not salute the swearing-in event that took place on the 11th of this month, saying that the National Scout Board, in accordance with the KSA Constitution, has to approve persons who wish to join the KSA as a volunteer or leader, be it at the national or county level. According to the KSA, Sonko fell short of the laid out criteria. With the vetting and registration procedure not having been followed, the KSA further asserted that many who attended Sonko's botched swearing-in event were not bona fide members of the association, and it was not officiated by the sitting chief commissioner. Claiming that the governor may have been misled by the members, they have added that they are willing to engage with the office of the governor to rectify the illegality and conduct the installation of the governor formally in accordance with set guidelines. The KSA is a registered member of the World Organization of Scouting Movement with over 1.4 million boy and girl scouts and a support team of over 40,000 scout leaders. Scouting in Kenya was established in 1910. Anita Nkonge, NTV.
I was a scout, girl guide, and ranger. How about you? Wednesday evening would have been another cycle home for 22-year-old Caleb Omoyo, but his ride along Thika Road was his last. A bus plying the Thika Superhighway route fatally knocked him down. A group of cyclists took to the roads and specifically to the spot where Caleb was killed to honor him and to raise awareness on the need for other road users to respect cyclist safety. Ngina Kiruri was there and brings us this report.
22-year-old Caleb Omoyo was just starting out life as an engineering student at the Technical University of Kenya. And going by the description on his profile, cycling was ingrained in his life, as he described himself as a cyclist who is just trying to write his story. But his story was thrust into history on Wednesday evening, when as he was riding home, he was hit and killed by a bus bearing the Kenya Mpya Bus Farm branding. Hundreds of cyclists from different parts of the country streamed into the Jivanji Gardens in Nairobi today in his honor. They then proceeded to Thika Road, where Caleb was killed.
People are walking, people are riding, people are driving. So it's very important that we emphasize on the respect of the people. It's no point of losing human life because somebody else feels more, important on that particular road.
Any policy maker, whoever is concerned about even the roads, the infrastructure, the ministry, the Ministry of Sports, they need to embrace cycling as any other sport in Kenya.
At the moment, the only law that provides for cyclists is the Traffic Amendment Act of 2019, which basically defines what a bicycle is.
Unfortunately, there is no law in Kenya right now that can protect a cyclist. A cyclist has been considered they don't have a place on the road. I actually want to prepare a petition that is strong enough to be presented in Parliament so that we can challenge some of the laws.
It was at this exact spot that the late Caleb met his death, but the spot has also become synonymous with the need for more awareness to be brought to cyclist safety. Gena Kirori, NTV, Nairobi.
Tuskys Supermarkets has officially declared that it is going to send home staff in its restructuring of the business. The management has written a letter to the Cabinet Secretary for Labour and the Secretary General of the Kenya Union of Commercial, Food and Allied Workers, alerting them of its intention. The troubled retailer says it will, and I quote, discontinue employment of staff who've been or will be affected by the ongoing business operation realignments. The company says it will not be in a position to continue offering employment to them. As it executes the downsizing, the firm says it will abide by all the regulations stipulated in the Employment Act and the existing collective bargaining agreement. Tuskys has a cumulative debt of 6.2 billion shillings and has received 500 million shillings from a Mauritius-based investor who has committed to pump in 2 billion shillings. I think I need to get myself a glass of water. As I do that, you can take a break. We'll be back shortly.
Ah, Helen Paul.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I've been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic's thick formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach.
Wow, now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that she's part of the mission, the next house is yours.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
Karatina University wishes to announce to all new and continuing students that lectures of the first semester of the 2020-2021 academic year are ongoing. New students' university joining instructions and details on creation of e-learning account for all students are on the university website. Payment of requisite fees is a requirement. For more information, visit our website on www.karu.ac.ke or contact us on the details on your screen. Karatina University, inspiring innovation and leadership.
For more than 10 years now,
1 Acre Fund has worked with farmers across Kenya to give them access to quality seeds, fertilizer, and farming inputs through affordable financing options. To find out how you too can join the 1 Acre Fund program, dial *689#. 1 Acre Fund. Mkulima Kwanza.
My name is Tom Gishohe. I'm the Executive Director for the Association of Kenya Insurers. We have changed the mode of delivering our motor insurance certificates from physical to digital. The motor insurance certificate has not changed. What has actually changed is the mode of delivery of the certificate from physical to digital. Now, the moment you receive the digital certificate, the next thing that you need to do is to get it printed using a color printer, cut it along the dotted line, and stick it on your windscreen. In the event that you would like to verify the genuineness of the certificate, what you need to do is to dial *352#. You can also download the Aki app onto your phone and use the app to verify the genuineness of the certificate. If by any chance you happen to sell your motor vehicle, it will be important that you contact your insurance company for cancellation of the certificate that you're holding. Otherwise, the buyer, the new owner of the motor vehicle will not be able to access the insurance and insurance certificate until that process is completed.
We have an obligation to make sure that there is safety of the students when we are looking for a bus.
That is why we are using the high tensile steel from Doshi.
Jijenge na Doshi Steel, chuma ya nguvu.
The fight to contain the desert locust invasion, not only in Kenya but in the region, continues. This, as an assessment on the locust impact in the East African region, found that roughly a third of those who responded experienced desert locust-related losses. Anita Nkonge with the report on why, despite the reduced swarms, the rains pose a threat to this war.
8 months ago, the country experienced an unprecedented desert locust invasion. 29 counties were, as a result, affected as the government and international stakeholders stepped in to combat the hundreds of swarms. To date, Samburu and Turkana counties are the last two counties battling the swarms. However, the effects remain evident. An assessment done by the Food and Security Nutrition Working Group on the locust impact in the East African region found that a third of those who owned crops or livestock had experienced desert locust-related losses. The final analysis, which looked at 10,398 respondents across affected areas in Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia, and Uganda between June and July 2020, found that the invasions were causing emotional stress, environmental impacts, increased food insecurity, malnutrition, and animal health issues. Though Kenya reported the lowest levels in the region when it came to crop and livestock rearing, 27% of crop farming respondents in Kenya say they experienced desert locusts and reported having lost 17% of their crops. 35% of livestock farmers say that they experienced desert locusts, and 24% counted losses as a result. For livestock rearing households in Kenya, 28% had high or very high losses, while 59% thought their livestock were in either fair or poor condition following rangeland losses. Respondents are generally pessimistic about upcoming harvests. In many areas, majority of cropping respondents thought their production would be below average. Across the region as a whole, the most commonly reported drivers of current crop conditions were above average rains, and desert locusts. The Food and Agriculture Organization, however, says that October rains may hamper efforts to contain the locusts in the country as they offer a good environment for breeding. Anita Nkonge, NTV.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has been on an inspection tour of development projects in Mombasa. Among the first sites he visited was in Liwatuni at an ongoing construction of a 1.9 billion shilling Likoni pedestrian floating bridge. Touted as the first of its kind in the region, the 1.2-kilometer floating bridge is said to be halfway done. It is expected that the bridge will reduce pressure on the Likoni ferry by taking up most of the pedestrians. President Kenyatta then visited the Liwatuni fishing complex that is said to be upgraded to a full fishing port capacity. From Liwatuni, Uhuru saw the 40 billion shilling new Kipevu oil terminal said to be under construction before wrapping up his inspection at the Kenya Navy base in Mtongwe, where the military is developing an ultra-modern slipway and shipyard.
Expect huu mradi ambao tunatarajia baada ya kama mwezi moja na nusu tutakuja tuufungue kirasmi na tukimajaliwa ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Ni hivyo. Yeah.
To what is happening away from Kenya's borders, and the United States has been thrown into another potentially contentious situation with the death of a liberal Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg ahead of the November general election. Ginsburg, who was the second woman to serve in the highest court in the U.S., died of pancreatic cancer on Friday. She was born to Jewish immigrants in Brooklyn, New York, and with less than 2 months to the general election, her death has raised the possibility that President Donald Trump will seek to replace her with a conservative, and that is before the election. Just days before her death, Ginsburg is reported to have told her granddaughter, Clara Spera, that her most fervent wish is that she won't be replaced before a new president is sworn in. The last time a Supreme Court justice was installed, and that is Brett Kavanaugh in 2018, the country was gripped by partisanship as Kavanaugh navigated accusations of sexual abuse. What a legend and a feminist, but I'm sure those who have a problem with the word feminist will take issue. We take a break. We'll be back with the sports news.
Safaricom iko na 500 MB free kila siku.
Get 500 MB free kila siku and never miss a moment. Dial *544# to activate your offer. Browse Pilawas on Kenya's best network.
When you buy a bar of Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate, you can help change the story. That's because we will use part of the proceeds to donate milk to less fortunate children across our beautiful country. Let us come together and show the generous spirit that is inside of all of us. Cadbury Dairy Milk. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Top dressing tea. Avoid top dressing during heavy rains as it'll be eroded away. Weeding should be done before top dressing to ensure they don't regrow.
More than 500,000 farmers in Kenya can have easy access at affordable packs of 1 kg to 50 kg across major agro-dealers. Farmers who have used Mavuno fertilizers have realized 30% more yield. Please feed your crop and soil with the best fertilizers for future prosperity. Call us today and learn how Mavuno fertilizers is helping in increasing food production in Africa.
Best quality KEBS certified steel. TMT steel bars, produced from the most modern machines and technology, reliable and with the highest strength, suitable for all types of construction. That is, high-rise buildings, bridges, houses and roads.
Look for the Devki mark on a wider selling reinforcement, twisted and TMT rebars, which are KBS certified and have the diamond mark of quality. Devki Steel, Kenya's most trusted steel company.
Breaking news from Molfix. Let's see what they're developing right now.
Fancy's just for me. Molfix pants with anatomic fit technology. New Molfix pants, an invention from babies for babies.
You should also try Molfix.
From far with you. I even gifted you a magnificent house. Rosa, it's the thought that counts. Please help me.
When it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Panadol Baby and Infant, tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Epilepsy is a condition that most people would rather not have a conversation about, but the truth of the matter is, with 77 people diagnosed with the condition out of 100,000 people in Kenya, I think it's time to pay attention.
We found that most of the epilepsy was beginning in childhood. Birth injury and those infections that touch on the brain cause some localized damage or diffuse damage leading to epilepsy.
Welcome to Garden of Joy in Machakos by Optiven. This is a gated community that is strategically located only 7 minutes drive from Komata. The title deeds are ready. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
NTV Sport in association with Showmax.
A very good evening to you. Time for the latest in the world of sport. We start with the Football Kenya Federation county elections that took place across 21 counties today. Select results as more pour in, while the Kisii branch elections were marred by violence, with Jezarel Mbegera garnering 10 out of 16 votes to beat Yabesh Mose and be declared chairman. Alan Muhanda emerged the winner in Kakamega as he scooped 13 of the 23 votes cast. In Mombasa, Alamin Abdallah caused a major upset when he beat Lilian Nandundu by 1 vote to win the chairperson seat at the Shanzu Teachers Training College. In Nyamira, former Wazito CEO Luthers Mokua was elected chairman with 14 votes to Thomas Mayaka's 1. In case of a tie, repeat elections shall be held on Tuesday, September 22nd, but the final county results shall be published on October 1st. Great. As elite athletes continue to train ahead of the London Marathon, the pace setters are also preparing for the big assignment. Well, the NTV sport team caught up with Noah Kipkemboi during one of his training sessions. Kipkemboi, who has paced for marathon world record holder Eliud Kipchoge twice, is preparing to do it again.
Noah Kipkemboi is one of Eliud Kipchoge's pacemakers and considers the marathon world record holder as more than just a training partner, but a mentor as well.
Eliud has been encouraging me concerning to sports activity since 2017.
The 2020 London Marathon will be the first time Kipkemboi paces Kipchoge in a competitive event, having previously paced the London defending champion at the Breaking 2 and Ineos 159 challenges in Monza, Italy and Vienna, Austria, respectively.
For the last 200 meters, I was so grateful, cheering and running, following him. That was a great thing, that it was so exciting to me that Eliud has broke the record and I was among.
The 27-year-old is set to pace the first group that will include Kipchoge and Ethiopia's Kenenisa Bekele, the 2 fastest marathon runners in history.
We have trained so much for London and we are going to make it. We hope the best for Eliud in London.
The 2020 event will take place on a closed-loop circuit around St. James's Park, and focus will solely be on the prize in the UK capital.
And don't forget, the London Marathon will be live on NTV on October 4th. Well, Manchester United have gotten their new English Premier League campaign off to quite the negative start, going down 3-1 to Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. It was an action-packed day with well over 15 goals scored in the 3 games so far. Let's have a look at some of those goals.
And he didn't quite get it.
You did miss a penalty. Well, Arsenal will be playing West Ham in the next 3 to 4 minutes. Kickoff at 10 p.m. East African time. To the NBA, where the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Denver Nuggets 126-114 to go 1-0 up in the NBA Western Conference Finals in Florida. While Anthony Davis top scored with 37.
With Showmax.
Great, and that does it for sport. You know, Olive, I've never really known. Are you a United fan, Arsenal fan, Chelsea fan? I'm putting you on the spot here.
I know nothing, absolutely nothing about football. But what I can't get over, Ida, and we've discussed this even off air, is that video, that woman giving birth outside Pumwani Maternity Hospital. How does that happen? You've covered marathons,
right,
where Kenyans have run against just this kind of thing, you know, to stop this kind of thing from ever happening.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Very, very unfortunate, you know.
As politicians trade insults over mothers, where are they now?
Exactly. Where's the respect, you know? Yeah.
Respect our mothers. That's it for NTV Weekend Edition. From myself, Ida Wiringa, David Agondoa, and the rest of the team. Have a good night.
This is NTV. I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
In the event that you would like to verify the genuineness of the certificates, what you need to do is to dial *352#. You can also download the Aki app onto your phone. If by any chance you happen to sell your motor vehicle, it will be important that you contact your insurance company for cancellation of the certificate that you're holding.
Kuangusha mistari na kudamini ufahari. Form nigane, trust, study, ripped them a classic. Form nigane, trust, study, ripped them a classic. Leo niko ndani.
Trust condoms, who are true.
It looks like Lushan is sticking her nose into things that are none of her business.
This isn't the right time.
He was always after me and everything was just going great until Marta got in the way, just as she did with your father.
If there's anything that concerns my children, you have to tell me about it. Do you understand? Excuse me for interfering, but if Luciana But still, she doesn't have any right to keep from me anything that has to do with my children. Yes, but...
I don't even want to think about how much trouble she's in.
Luciana, the fact that I can't be with you doesn't mean that I can just forget everything I feel for you.
Are you alright, Madam Lillian? Is anything wrong? It's nothing you can fix. Nobody has the cure for love problems.
Along Came Love, in association with Blue Band Peanut Butter.
Epilepsy is a condition that most people would rather not have a conversation about, but the truth of the matter is, with 77 people diagnosed with the condition out of 100,000 people in Kenya, I think it's time to pay attention.
We found that most of the epilepsy was beginning in childhood. Birth injury and those infections that touch on the brain cause some localized damage or diffuse damage leading to epilepsy.
Welcome to Garden of Joy in Machakos by Optiven. This is a gated community that is strategically located only 7 minutes drive from Komata. The title deeds are ready. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
What comes to mind when you hear Man of Steel? What does it take to be a man of steel? This week on Property Focus, the most successful industrialist in East Africa, Dr. Narendra Raval, takes us through his journey of success, a project review that's used steel to be a fortress, and insights of this building material.
I would like to see that all Kenyans have got the roof above the head, and that is only possible when we make everything in Kenya.
Catch the show this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. only on NTV.
Property Focus in association with Devki Steel Mills.
Look for the Devki mark on a widest selling reinforcement, twisted and TMT rebars, which are KBS certified and have the diamond mark of quality. Devki Steel, Kenya's most trusted steel company.
We are Nation, Africa's independent media brand. We are committed to empowering all Africans, from the young to the old, from the curious to the educated, and from the heart of the cities to the rural areas. We are Nation. Join us, because if you want to get far, you do it together. Nation. Empower Africa.
You have been chosen to come here because you are the best journalism students in Kenya.
If your content is not interesting to look at, don't waste my time.
You submitted your work late. Why?
Each and everything that we used had problem.
No excuses in the newsroom.
Just let it go, because it's a teamwork, for heaven's sake.
I think you should go home.
What if you don't agree with what he said? Will you say, So keep that.
Tumechoka, tumebit, tumezunguka.
Ni noma.
Japo njia bora zaidi ya kuhakikisha usafi wa mikono ni kutumia maji na sabuni, katika baadhi ya sehemu wameweka mchanganyiko huu maalum wa kutoa uchafu maarufu sanitizer, na tunahimizwa kila tunapotumia tuhakikishe kwamba sehemu zote za mkono zimeupata mchanganyiko huo, kwa kufanya hivi kwa takriban sekunde 20 hivi, na tuhimizane wenyewe kwa wenyewe kufanya usafi, manake wapo mwenzako hatafanya usafi basi anakutia wewe hatarini.